So last year we saw some incredible management titles that are going to be really hard to beat this year, but don't worry, as coming up I'll be showcasing with you some of my favorite upcoming business, tycoon and just management games in general that you can sink hundreds of hours into. I honestly get really upset going onto Steam where I just see so much AI slop getting released, and I got a little bit of a rant later on at the end of the video, but don't worry, as I tried my best to showcase some of my favorite ones, starting with Copa City. Now this game might be the one I'm most looking forward to if they can pull it off. Now before you think it's the next Football Manager, no, it's going to be more like an OG management game that I've been craving for all these years, and if you're a football buff, well, it'll be even better. In the game, you'll be hosting massive football events, but you'll be managing other things too, stuff like the roads, the fan zones, the sponsors, the security, the logistics, all that kind of stuff. I remember when South Africa hosted the FIFA World Cup, and there was just so much spirit, or gees as it were, going on, and if I can get that in a game, well, I cannot wait. Sure, it won't have Johannesburg or Cape Town, but it will have some recognizable European clubs and cities that you can play in that have some real licensed teams, and even FIFA can't pull that off, so really looking forward to it. Even if you're not a football fan, I think there's still so much you could enjoy here. From setting up the stadiums, managing your funds and employees, and just getting into the overall spirit of it, I think it's going to be really cool. The game is launching in March for both PC and console, so if this looks good to you, maybe go check out Copa City today. And then next up is a title called Above the Snow, which is probably the closest I'll get to seeing real snow because, yeah, I'm from South Africa. We don't see any snow. I mean, Tiffendale does not count. The devs better not mess this one up because the snow resort setting doesn't get enough love, and to me it's one of my favorites. This is going to be a story-driven management game about running a mountain lodge while everything around you slowly spirals into chaos. You're going to be managing an alpine resort during the winter, juggling demanding guests, fierce competitors, media attention, and the looming threat of a catastrophic avalanche. So yeah, in the game you'll be building and furnishing the lodge, managing your gear, attracting different types of alpinists, or I guess your customers, and expanding into the outdoors. So that means planning things like the mountain trails, planning expeditions, running some rescue missions, and even moving around supplies using those vehicles. Plus you've got this crew, it's a small group of friends that have got their own personalities, strengths and weaknesses that you'll need to manage and keep happy. And because it's got that character-driven storytelling, yeah, there's gonna be some emotional weight to it compared to other games on this list. Will it be like the Altars set in winter? Probably not, but I do enjoy having my management games with just a little bit of backstory going on. So if that sounds like a game for you, Above the Snow is set for PC release sometime at the beginning of this year and worth checking out. And then for a game that I mentioned last year that I do hope comes out soon, it's Bloody Hell Hotel. Brilliant title, and also the gameplay looks like a lot of fun. In the game you play as a vampire, and upon waking up you realize that your estate is in ruins and you need to clean it all up. So why not turn it into a profitable hotel? It's like the show What We Do in the Shadows, except Guillermo has left and it's up to you to run the place. That means that you'll be renovating the rooms, customizing the hotel and various furnishings, doing some farming and cooking, and you can even do stuff like make weapons and go off and explore the dungeon. You will still be able to hire employees to help you out, people like receptionists or cooks, but also remember you're a vampire, so if you get bored you can also do some Type O collection to get your powers back. At first I thought the game was abandoned, but I think the devs just jumped the gun too soon with their announcement trailer, but judging by the Steam page, it does still look like they're active. So if you're enjoying the style of this gameplay, Bloody Hell Hotel is set for release sometime hopefully this year for PC, but devs, no rush, just make sure it can be a lot of fun. Then next on the list is Under Par Golf Architect, which I'm throwing in here because Sim Golf was literally one of the most fun games I've ever played, period. Seriously though, someone could literally just copy Sim Golf, make some tweaks, and bam, there you've got a game of the year. Now this title does seem to be doing just that, but it does come with enough changes so that it doesn't feel like a carbon copy. I played the demo, it was a lot of fun. It's still out now if you want to try it out. I will say that it is rather shallow at the moment, but I'm still loving the potential and hopefully more content is released soon. Essentially, you're building up this golf course from the food stations to other stuff to keep your players happy, all the way to planning and constructing the holes themselves. But guess what? You can also play them too, just like in Sim Golf. Again, it needs some tweaking, but I love it when management games actually let you experience the business you're building. Anyways, the game is set for a PC release sometime this year, and even though we'll probably never see Sim Golf 2, I think Under Par Golf Architect might just be able to fill that hole in my heart. Now, if you're looking for a fever without the flu, then up next is Transport Fever 3, and it looks like a lot of fun. Great Transport Tycoon games don't come around very often, but when they do, it's from the Transport Fever franchise. Their second title is amazing and 100% worth looking into, but the third one is looking even better. In the game, you start off small. You'll go from things like horse carts and steam trains and then slowly spiral into jets, super tankers, bullet trains, helicopters, the whole shebang of logistical circuitry. Every route constructed will make you money, but every vehicle will cost you money, and the game lives in that constant push and pull that quickly goes from, hey, high score, what does that mean? Did I break it? All the way to, why am I bankrupt again? But yes, you will be planning it all, laying rails, roads, sea routes, air lanes, tweaking signals, fixing traffic jams, and sure, it gives many people that City Skylines vibes, but it's not a city builder like that. It's all about the transport side of things. But yes, your cities will still be very demanding, kind of like City Skyline fans wanting a better sequel. It's not easy, but if you're looking to get sunk into a Transport Tycoon game, I gotta say this one is looking really good, so I highly recommend checking out Transport Fever 3 today. And then if you want something completely different, what about Rockbeasts? Wait, isn't this just a BoJack Horseman game? Well, I mean, with that art style, come on devs, what did you expect here? It plays a bit like an RPG though, so you'll be managing the band, picking different set lists, fixing gear before the shows, managing your band so that they can eat, and then actually taking the stage in these rhythm-based performances. So yeah, it's even got these Guitar Hero elements, which is pretty cool. Also, the writing is from the principal writer of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, plus it comes with voices from Baldur's Gate 3, so they're not messing around here. So if you like narrative-driven management games, love BoJack Horseman, and want a game that stands out from the rest, Rockbeasts is coming out sometime this year for PC and console. And if you're looking for your classic theme park style kind of game, well then Aquapark Tycoon might just be for you. As the name suggests, you're building up a water park or an aqua park from scratch. So while it feels like this could have just been a DLC from some other popular theme park games, the devs are trying to lean into the mechanics of a water park rather than just making it a theme park with water, if that makes sense. For example, you can change the temperature of the water, you can change the depth of the pools, what they're used for. Like if the water is too deep, well, when people come down the slides, they are going to drown, and I'm pretty sure no one is going to try and exploit that. No siree. I messed around with the demo, it's still out by the way, but it's super bare bones, so just be aware of that. However, it did show a lot of promise. I was able to build a sauna and see people sweat it out. It reminded me of what I looked like after I post a video, and hoping that someone out there will like it or maybe even subscribe. Now, there are two features I'm most excited about. One is co-op, so it's great to see the devs thinking about people that actually have friends that also enjoy watching people drown. And number two, well, in the sauna, you can finally change what the room will smell like. You can change the scents, I don't know, maybe musk or apple vanilla, things like that. And if that doesn't draw you in, I don't know what will. So if you enjoy all the theme park type games and looking for something new to wet your whistle, then Aquapark Tycoon is due for release sometime this year for PC and might be worth checking out. And then coming up next, if the management genre still can't get making movies right, well then what about just watching them? Well then that's where Cinema Theater Tycoon comes in, and so far it looks pretty fun. In the game, you start all the way back in 1906 in Paris, right after the Lumiere brothers blew everyone's minds with the very first Fast and the Furious film. At its core, it's a proper hands-on tycoon game, so you'll want to take your rundown shack of a cinema and turn it into something that even Scorsese would find impressive. There is a demo out now, and honestly, I'm a big fan of the pixelated graphics. I know some people out there will be like, man, this should be a mobile game, but honestly, I don't care about the graphics. If the gameplay is fun, that's all that matters, and this gameplay is a lot of fun. And honestly, the graphics are quite charming and cozy in a way. And one thing this game has, which is very similar to the movies, one of my favorite management games of all time, is that when you progress in time, so does your technology and your audience tastes. Plus, the game will be coming with some twists like wars and fighting off fires, and it'll just make the whole management thing quite interesting. This game also reminded me of one of those management games that you can just kind of zone out to, where you've got your finger on the fast forward and the pause, trying to just upgrade everything you see. So if you enjoy this look and feel, then maybe go check out Cinema Theater Tycoon. It's coming out sometime this year for PC, and to me, it looks like a lot of fun. And if the previous game's graphics didn't freak you out, well then you're going to really enjoy Let's Build a Dungeon. This is the same team that made another brilliant title called Let's Build a Zoo, and if it's anything like that, well, I can't wait. However, instead of managing zoo animals this time around, you'll be creating the world's greatest MMORPG, or basically the next World of Warcraft. That means that you'll get to go full Leroy Jenkins when running the studio, where here you'll be hiring artists, programmers, designers, and all of those other things to get moving. There's a demo out, it's very cool. It's not what I expected at all, as you'll be building the world piece by piece, adding in quests here and there. It was quite unlike anything else I've played before. Then the game sucks you out into this old school desktop and has your boss chatting to you, and then you go check out your reviews. They're all really bad, but then you get to actually play the game that you've created. It felt very trippy, but so awesome, very cool. Plus, don't forget that it's an MMO, so that means that you'll be designing towns, quests, monsters, classes, dungeons, and then watching virtual players run around your world in real time. Plus, it comes with co-op, which is going to be crazy cool, as well as a creative mode if you don't want all that stress. But yes, the elephant in the room here is the AI art that's been used, which might put some people off, but the devs have mentioned that it's just placeholders for now, so hopefully they just get removed on full release. But if you love games so much that you want to play a game where you build a game and then get others to play the game too, well then Let's Build a Dungeon is dropping sometime this year for PC and definitely worth checking out. Then if you're looking for a really chilled out management game that kind of pushes the limits of what a management game is, well then ReStory might just be for you. So yes, it is a stretch for the management genre term here, but hey, it comes with management game elements and it looks so damn cozy and cool I had to include it. Essentially, you're trying to make money in this tech repair store. It's like a tycoon game, except that you'll be doing all of the repairs yourself. I'm not sure if you remember the game Assemble with Care, it's basically that kind of game. So in the game, it's the mid-2000s, so here you'll be fixing everything from old handhelds and phones that some of us might have even owned and maybe even tried to repair back in the day. The repairing side of things is very, very manual, like you'll have to take things apart piece by piece. But then once you get into the groove, it is so satisfying. You will take devices apart, clean them, swap out the faulty parts, and then carefully assemble them using a legit little tool set. Between the repairs, you'll be managing your money, browsing the internet, looking for spare parts, and then take on walking customers as well as some online orders. What's very cool though is that these customers also come with some backstories and mini plots. ReStory is coming out sometime this year for PC, and already the feedback has been great. So if you're looking for a chilled out sim game that gives you the same satisfaction of something like Power Wash Simulator, except that you'll be repairing Tamagotchi ripoffs, well then maybe go add it to your wish list today. And up next, have you ever driven past a dock of shipping containers and thought how fun it would be to move those containers around, but in a game? Well then Docks might be the game for you. In the game, you'll be playing as the lead operator trying to rebuild your father's dock after a devastating hurricane. And if the graphics and gameplay look similar, well that's because it's from Saber Interactive. You know, it's the same team behind Roadcraft. This time though, you'll be managing this massive cargo yard to help make ends meet. Ships will come in, cargo will need to be unloaded, flatbed trucks will then need to be loaded, that kind of thing. And this kind of cargo will be critical, things like medicine and stuff for disaster relief. And you'll also be navigating all this tight space where one bad move can mean your certain death. Well, probably not, but hey, it's still not good. Saber Interactive love their realism, and here it's no different. If you love that attention to detail when it comes to things like weights and gravity and all that kind of stuff, then you're gonna love it. On the management side of things, you'll be signing contracts, building new logistical chains, repairing worn down equipment under pressure, and then putting those profits into expanding the port. Now yes, this game won't be for everyone. It's for that certain few that just like to take things slow and I don't know, just operate things very manually and have a real hands-on approach to management. So if that sounds good to you, then maybe go check out Docked. It doesn't have a set release date yet, but it is coming out for PC and console and definitely worth checking out. And then hey look, it's another proper tycoon game. Well, sort of. It's called Food Truck Empire and it does things a little differently. On the surface, yeah, you'll be managing food trucks and trying to sell burgers and other type of fast food. But once you start playing it, you realize that it's got a lot of working parts under the hood. For example, you'll buy a food truck, right? But then you need to choose what you want to sell. So maybe I choose burgers, but not all burgers are created equal. You'll need to build up a pipeline of ingredients in your truck, choosing the right prep stations and ingredients to satisfy your customers. And that's because different people want different things, like kids want cheese and construction workers want smoked meat. And once you get it right, you can just chill for a few seconds to see your revenue go up once you start selling your different fast foods. But you see, that's not enough. You'll need more trucks, you'll need to do more research, and you just keep going and going and going, and it's one of those kind of games. And to me, the look and feel of it is very cool. I played the demo, it should still be out right now. You get to zoom around this town that comes with that tilt shift zoom that makes it look really slick, gives me City Skylines vibes in a way, but except now you're one of the businesses. The demo was a lot of fun, and if this looks good to you, well then Food Truck Empire is dropping hopefully sometime later this year for PC and worth checking out. And then for all my creature collection fans out there, up next is Among the Wild. The team behind it claim it's going to be a mix of Stardew Valley meets Viva Pinata meets Slime Rancher, and it's all happening in a first-person view. At its core, it's a creature-focused farming game. This means that in the game you'll be wrangling these adorable little beings, learning what they eat, how they behave, what makes them happy, and then building your farm around them. Some will help with production, some will evolve into new forms, and others are basically little chaos generators that can, I don't know, if you're feeling a bit messed up, you can just sell them, I guess. The farming side of things is also very laid back. Here you'll be planting crops, setting up hives, fermenting barrels of different items, cooking, crafting, and then slowly turning this untamed wilderness into your very own cozy ecosystem. Plus, you'll also be able to explore. You'll be heading out into the wild to mine gems, fish, complete quests, and deal with some threats that will eat your soul. Probably not, it looks too cozy for that. So if you want a super cozy farming game where you'll be collecting creatures from all over the place, then maybe add Among the Wild to your wishlist today. There is no release date yet, so hopefully they update it soon. And then up next is a game that I've mentioned quite a few times on my channel, but I still haven't got that pronunciation right. It's called PVKK, or as I like to call it, Planet Shanana Shanana Shanana. Nailed it. In the game, you'll play as an operator of a gigantic planetary defense cannon, fending off alien threats while juggling limited resources, these fiddly little controls, and the creeping realization that everything is about to go very wrong. Again, I know it's not technically a management game, but you're still managing this cannon and everything around you, and it's all got this old school clunky tech that I just wish I could test in VR. Between the attacks, you'll be upgrading your bunker, checking out some political conspiracies, and making decisions that can radically change how the story unfolds. It's also going to be a very hands-on game, like literally. All the little sounds of the switches, cannot wait to just flick them around. It reminds me a bit of Space Truck I played last year, except that here you're going to be chilling in this bunker. So if this looks good to you, then PVKK is releasing sometime later this year for PC, and it just looks so cool. And then last but not least, if you've ever played Cyberpunk 2077 and thought, hey, this game looks so cool, but I just want something a bit more laid back, then maybe go check out Nivalis. It comes with this charming voxel aesthetic, and the game looks like a mashup of Cyberpunk, Stardew Valley, and even The Sims, which honestly sounds amazing. You can start the game with a tiny food stall, and then you're going to work your way up to owning nightclubs, managing staff like managers to handle all the daily grind. So that means a lot of business sim mechanics, but also a lot of life sim mechanics too. This means that you'll go from farming stuff in a greenhouse to fishing in this flooded city, all the way to spending hours trying to decorate your apartment. As you know me, I love decorating in my management games. It's from the makers behind Cloudpunk, which for those of you who enjoy that game, well, let's just say the studio knows their way around voxel-covered cyberpunk worlds. I think they've nailed the dystopian vibe, so maybe go check out my full video if you want to know more about it. But yeah, Nivalis is dropping sometime this year for PC, and I just can't wait to try it out. And so that wraps up my video. Like I said, it's becoming quite hard to find great management in Tycoon, and especially sim games, because there's been this overwhelming flood of AI-generated thumbnails And I understand it, indie devs can't always afford to hire expensive professional graphic designers, but at the same time, it's getting really hard now to sift through and find the good ones. So let me know what your thoughts are of this in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe to find more gaming content like this. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games. And as always, don't stop gaming.